It's not anything wrong. You cannot. You cannot. You can't convict me. Are you insane? It's not possible. I'm Nnamdi Kanu. Who's going to try it? Nobody can. They've not killed them there to the person. Useless black people. You don't know what justice means? You have no idea what justice means. You don't know what justice means. Useless black African people. You don't know the meaning of justice. Your constitution says you cannot try anybody unless the law is written. Show me the written law. Show me the written law. I want you to talk to me now. Show me the law. Are you okay? Don't go close. Don't try that. Don't try it. Don't try it. Don't try rubbish. Don't try rubbish. Useless people. You don't know law. You don't know law. Your own constitution you don't respect. Supreme Court judgment you don't respect. Then why are we in the court of law? Why are we in the court of law, I ask? Nonsense. You think Britain can ask you to jail me and you jail me? You are dreaming. You are dreaming. I'm telling you that you are dreaming. Nonsense. There's not anything wrong. You cannot. You cannot. You can't convict me. Are you insane? It's not possible. I'm Nnamdi Kanu. Who's going to try it? Nobody can. They've not killed them there to the person.
So today in Abuja, the atmosphere around the Federal High Court was tense again. Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, came into the courtroom calm but clearly not happy with how things have been going in his trial. The judge on seat was Justice James Omotosho, the same judge handling the long terrorism case that has dragged for months now. People were expecting that maybe today Kanu would finally open his defense and say his own side fully. But what happened instead turned the whole courtroom into drama. Please, if you are watching this video right now, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because this story you are hearing now is still developing and we are bringing you real-time updates as it happens. Now the judge entered, proceedings began quietly and the clerk read the case. The prosecution lawyers were ready. They had already closed their own case weeks ago and were waiting for Kanu to start his defense. But once again, when the judge asked Kanu if he was ready to open his defense, he stood up very firm and said no. He told the court that there was no valid charge against him, that what he was facing was not a lawful trial. Everyone in the courtroom looked up at that moment because the tone he used was serious. The judge then reminded him that the court had already ruled that there is a case for him to answer, so he must proceed with his defense. But Kanu shook his head, still calm but obviously angry, and said, "How can I defend myself on charges that are not even valid in law?" He insisted that the charges were defective, and that continuing with the defense would only make the court look like it was supporting an illegality. Please, my people, if you're still watching this gist, click the like button now and subscribe, because the matter just started getting hot from there. After that statement, the courtroom went silent for some seconds. The judge looked at him and said he had been given enough time. The judge said the law must move forward, that the case cannot continue to stand still. He told Kanu that the court cannot wait forever, and that if he continues to refuse to open his defense, the court will have no choice than to close his side and proceed to judgment based on the prosecution's evidence. At that point, Kanu's face changed. He raised his voice and said the court doesn't even understand what justice means. He said, "You people do not know justice." His words echoed inside the courtroom. Some people sitting at the back gasped, others whispered. He said that justice is not about procedure alone, that justice is about doing what is right. He insisted that he is not just fighting for himself, but for truth and fairness. You know, sometimes in Nigeria court, once a defendant speaks like that, tension rises. The security officers in the room adjusted immediately. Even the journalists present stopped writing for a moment just to watch what would happen next. The judge then asked him to calm down, But Kanu continued speaking, saying that this case is not just his case, that it is a test of Nigeria's justice system. Please, as you are listening, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more updates, because this matter is far from over and we will be bringing every detail as it unfolds. Now, after that strong exchange, the judge told him that the court understands his concerns but must still follow due process. The judge said, "This is a court of law, not a place for emotions or politics." But Kanu responded that the same law the courter is quoting is being broken by the people who brought him to court. He said he was kidnapped abroad, brought into Nigeria by force, and that alone makes the case unlawful. The whole place was silent again. Some of his supporters who managed to attend were shaking their heads. Others looked worried. The judge reminded him that those issues had already been addressed in earlier rulings and that the focus now is on the charges before the court. But Kanu refused to back down. He said that he cannot pretend that everything is normal when the foundation of the trial itself is wrong. If you are still with me, my people, hit the like button right now and make sure you subscribe, because this is just the middle of the story. The judge then gave him one more warning. He said, "Mr. Kanu, if you do not open your defense at the next sitting, this court will consider you to have waived your right." Those words are serious in law. It means if Kanu still refuses, the court can go ahead and make judgment without hearing from him again. You can imagine how serious that sounds. At that point, one of Kanu's aides tried to calm him down, but Kanu was still talking passionately. He said justice cannot come from intimidation, that real justice listens to the truth even when it's uncomfortable. He said that he is ready to face any consequence, but he will not participate in what he called a mock trial. Please like this video and subscribe right now so you don't miss when the court resumes next. The judge then announced a short recess and everyone took a break. After the recess, the judge came back, sat down and said that the matter will be adjourned. The new date, according to reports, will be another opportunity for Kanu to decide whether he wants to open his defense or not. But the judge made it clear that the court will not delay again. Now, when the session ended, Kanu was escorted out by security officers. Journalists tried to ask him questions, but he didn't stop. However, one of his supporters shouted outside the court that the world has seen what is happening. The mood was heavy. Some said Kanu is being too stubborn. Others said he is brave for standing his ground. And you know, Nigerians, opinions are divided. Some people online are saying he should just defend himself and move on. Others are saying, no, he's right not to cooperate with a system he doesn't believe in. And that's where the conversation gets interesting. Please, as we continue, like this video and subscribe. Let us know what you think in the comment section. Do you think Kanu should open his defense, or should he continue to resist? Now, for those who may not know why this case is so sensitive, Kanu has been facing charges for a while related to his activities as the leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra. The government accuses him of promoting actions that threaten national unity. But Kanu and his supporters say all he did was speak for self-determination. That's the tension at the heart of this whole drama. One side says it's about national security, the other says it's about freedom of speech and political rights. Today's outburst in court just shows how deep the disagreement is. It's not only about law, it's about trust in the system. Kanu feels the system already condemned him before hearing him. The court feels the system must follow order and procedure, no matter who is involved. And that's where the real conflict lies. Please, if you are still watching, don't go anywhere. Like this video and subscribe now so you can get the next update when the court resumes.